In today's video, we are looking at a chemical reaction so that we can find evidence of how we can justify a chemical reaction is taking place. So in this lab, or in this experiment, we are going to see what happens when we mix calcium chloride, which are these white pellets here, with phenol red, diluted phenol red, which is a red dye. And we're going to see what happens when we mix phenol red with baking soda and phenol red. And then we're going to see what happens, well, what happens when we mix all of it. So we're going to start with this plastic bag that's empty. And I'm going to put baking soda on one side and calcium chloride on the other, but I'm not going to mix them yet. Okay? So, I'm going to grab 1 scoop baking soda and try to very carefully put it on one side. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a scoop of calcium chloride. They look like Dippin' Dots that you should never, ever, ever eat. Oh, I mixed it a little bit. That's okay. So very carefully separate it, and I'm going to use this little bin to separate it even more. Make sure that I'm not mixing them yet. Okay? So, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pipette and get phenol red, my dye, and I'm going to put it on both, one side at a time, but I'm going to put it on both sides without mixing it yet. Okay, so I'm going to put it on my baking soda first. Very carefully. I think I'm going to do 2 pipettes full. Put it on that side. I'm going to look and see what's going on there. So what I can tell you from, since I'm the one holding the bag, it's getting really cold. Wherever the phenol red has interacted with the baking soda, it's actually very, very cold, and it's turning pink, but we kind of expected that because we're mixing red with white, right? So this is cold, and it's getting colder the more it mixes. Now I'm going to look at what happens when I stick phenol red in with the calcium chloride. Does the same thing happen? So far we've noticed that there was a color change, but it was kind of expected, and that there was a temperature change because it got colder. A couple of pipettes of these. This reaction, it's actually getting warmer. Like, the more I hold onto the bag, the warmer and warmer it gets. So this side got warmer, the other side got cooler, warmer. Okay, so here I have both my sides. Here I have my calcium chloride. When it mixed with phenol red, it got warmer. When my baking soda mixed with calcium chloride, it got cooler. Or my baking soda mixed with phenol red, it got cooler. Let's see what happens whenever they mix. These 2 substances mix. So I'm going to first close my Ziploc bag so that I don't release any gases. It all happens inside the bag. If there's any gases being produced, hint, hint. Okay. So now I have it fully sealed. I'm going to mix. What do you notice? What you should be noticing is that it turned yellow. Pink and pink made yellow in this one. And I know you can see the bubbles happening. If I'm quiet enough, you could probably hear it fizzing. The bag is expanding, which means there has to be air in there somehow. There's gas being produced. I know that because I see the bubbles. The temperature isn't changing. It's still kind of hot over here. That's it. We've made a chemical reaction, and now we can use our observations from this to make a list of ways that we can prove a chemical reaction is happening. So just to recap, we mixed baking soda with phenol red, and it became cooler. When we mixed calcium chloride with the phenol red, it became warmer. And when we mixed both of them together, the bag expanded and it became yellow. We also saw bubbles forming and we heard fizzing whenever they were mixed together. Using your observations, what kind of evidence do you think we could create a list of to prove that a chemical reaction has occurred?